What is up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube Dasher? I'm Chris Smith, and today I'm going to be talking about the Shannara Chronicles. That is right, it debuted just last night. I'm doing a lot of TV, and I'm going to be doing this apparently now. Now, the Shannara Chronicles is pretty much based off of the books. I did not read the books, let's just get that out of the way very quickly. Now, I am just going to be basing this off of Simply Put as they show. Do not, if you are coming at this thing comment section and be like, okay, well, he didn't read the books, they say this in the books. I'm not judging the books, I'm judging the show. Suppose that, okay? Now let's get to the review. Now, what did I think about the Shannara Chronicles? I thought it was absolutely okay. I thought it was fine for the most part. What did I like? Well, I'll just go with the basic plot synopsis of this first episode. Four lands, which is kind of like the world they live in. After it is in danger, the world has to rely on an unlikely trio to pretty much save the world. Somebody's a chosen one or whatever. Now, what I liked about this show was I liked the world building, right? I like the world, and I kind of say this for a lot of shows, but it really does depend on the world when it's kind of something fantasy. So, you know, I like the world. It's a very beautiful looking world. It's very imaginative. You know, I get that, and I understand that. It has a lot of lore, right? And that's also another good thing. You know, any world, when they kind of have their own lore, that's also a good, very good positive. So that, I give them that. You know, and they give us a lot of lore to take in. Also, another thing that was really great in this thing is the creatures and the makeup design. I thought they were kind of top notch. Some of the CGI is, you know, questionable in some cases, but especially towards that final end scene. I'm not going to spoil much, but especially towards that final end scene, you know, Mono Burnett is fantastic in the show. He really is kind of like the only he's really like the main reason you kind of stay focused into most of these scenes, and you know he does a great job. He's really kind of the guy that's kind of doing the best performance as he possibly can. You know, this show has very strong females, you know, which worked out well. Some of them are questionable, but for the most part they have very strong females, and for that I was just like, okay, that's cool, that's great. Now everything works. If you like fantasy, this thing is going to be for you, you know. But unfortunately, there are some negatives. This, like I said, it has a nice world, it has nice lore, creature, makeup design. That's awesome. Some of the CGI is questionable, as I said. The action scenes are decent enough for now. Now let's talk about the performances right here, right? Let's start with Mono Burnett. Mono Burnett is a star, especially on this show, and which is not that hard to do because most of these people that are either around them are either teenagers or light teens or whatever it may be, and they're not really up to par. Now, he's not the world's greatest actor, but he's good enough that he's miles ahead of everybody else. And he's really the only reason you even pay attention to these scenes. You know, Austin Butler, the guy that plays Will, bland. Most of these performances in the show is quite frankly bland. You know, everybody's wooden. Austin Butler, I can't stand the guy. I can't buy him as a believable hero because the long hair, and he just seems too much like hate to say it, but pussy. The females in the show seem like they're more stronger and more capable of handling certain scenes than the men in the show, and that's something. You know, most of these elves and whatnot, they seem like they came from a modeling agency. Some things that also didn't really work was that, you know, the Amberly, you know, when she's saying, hey, she's not sure if she likes her boyfriend, but when she's a part of the Chosen, she decides, you know, she's not sure if she loves him, but she may be stuck in the same room with him for a while. That would have been awkward as hell. I also liked it, you know, when Uncle said, hey, you know, there's trolls in the world. And I was just like, you know what? I think there may be some trolls in the world. But, yeah, that was just a small pick-me-up, positive, whatever. But some things that lack negative, this thing got to work on the pacing. Because the pacing in the show is quite slow, and it's actually, it kind of became quite boring. There's a lot of talking in the show to the point where you're just like, okay, when are we going to kind of get to something interesting here? Because this was a 2-hour episode pretty much, and there's a lot of information coming in, and there's not really enough action. Now, it doesn't have to be action-y, but unfortunately, that's kind of the problem. It becomes a little bit boring. I was in it for the first half, but then it kind of just becomes bland. The characters are not really that interesting, and John Reeve Davies, he's in here. He's just sleepwalking. You know, Indy's friend from Indiana Jones, he's in here. He's sleepwalking, this dude. You know, pretty much it follows, what you can expect from the show is anything that was from MTV, right? You know, the cliches, like the pop songs, so they don't play them that much. The forced romances, you know, the model like actors, you know, everybody in the between, right? Now, the thing about the show is that, like I said, there's a lot of talking, and it's so much talking to the information that they're just piling up on you to the point where it's just like, wait a minute, let me digest some of the information you just gave me. But unfortunately, they don't do a good job at really explaining too much. This entire episode is, or this entire 2 episodes, is just information coming at you to the point where it's just like, I get it. I get it. I get it. Calm down, slow down. But yeah, I enjoyed James Raymar. He has a new look. Nobody's gonna get that reference. He has a new look. But yeah, nobody gets that reference. But yeah, I enjoyed those positives of it, as I said. But unfortunately, they kill. This spoiler a bit. They kill Amber Lee's boyfriend, right? And then they just wanted to get that out the way to get kind of like this forced love triangle, and you see it coming a mile away. Unfortunately, it follows a lot of cliches in a fantasy world. And if you like that, then that's great. Now, I thought this was a decent episode, and hopefully it gets better, but they got to work on the pacing. Will is just bland as fuck. That dude is just terrible. And the strong females are way better than, they're more believable as badasses than the men, other than Mono Burnett. Everybody else seems like an elfin pussy, sadly. But that's my review. They got to work on pacing. They got to work on more interesting characters. Step up, the action a bit, and kind of just make this thing a little bit more well thought out. But that's my review, and yeah, Shannara Chronicles series premiere. Comment, subscribe, like. I'm Chris Smith. I'm signing out.